Hey there, welcome to Manotick StringWorks. Glad to have you with me. So please remember to like and subscribe for more videos. So customer dropped off a couple of guitars this week, and one of them is this nice 2005 Gibson Les Paul Goldtop. So it's a 1960 reissue model. Very nice. Look at that. Weighs a ton, by the way. I think it weighs more than my jazz bass. Mahogany back, gold top, really nice. So just a setup, inspection, new strings, that kind of thing. There's another good shot of it on the bench. Looking nice. So this guitar has got some good wear on it. Good honest wear, I like that. A few dings, a few scratches. I'll clean up the hardware a little bit, just give it a light cleaning, not a polish or anything, but just clean it up. There's a little 1960 gold embossing on the pickguard. So made the old way to the 1960 spec. Yeah, the headstock's got a few dings. You can see right there on the left corner there as we're looking at it. A little bit of the headstock wants to lift up. That'll probably chip off at some point, although it sort of looks like someone glued it back. So there you can see someone used a socket to tighten that up or to hold it for some reason. Anyways, give this thing a good once over. Oh, there's a better shot of that. Yeah, I think that's been glued back on. Vintage style tuners. All in all, I like this guitar. I like that it's been used, not sitting on a shelf or in a case. Guitars should be used. Yeah, just a few more dings and scratches. Adds character, right? So we'll just fix up that string winding. I think I know what the problem is there. Those posts are pretty low. So it gets a little difficult on the wound strings. All right, we'll take the truss rod cover off. It says classic on it. I always use a little wooden dowel there just to move things around so I don't scratch anything. And we'll check that the truss rod's moving. It was a little bit loose, but yeah, it's moving. So initial check of the nut action at the first fret. So it was around 20 thousandths, which is nice. Strumming the open string, no buzz or anything, so that's good. I'll check the neck relief. Capo on the first fret, start with 12 thousandths, press down where the neck joins the body. So this one is set up right around 10 thousandths, which is great. Again, no buzz on the open string, so that's good. And we'll check the string height. Now, generally Les Paul should be around 4/64 on the low E, 3/64 on the high E. Again, that all depends on your style and whether or not the guitar can actually handle a low action like that. So this one was pretty low to start with, right around 4. And the pickups, just eyeballing the pickups, they look pretty high. Couldn't get that 1/8 feeler gauge under there at all. So It's okay. Once we do the string change and the setup, this is one of the last things that you adjust is the pickup height, and we'll fix that at that time. All right, off with the strings. Using my little DeWalt gyroscopic driver. Love that thing. You can use a hand winder, you can use your fingers, whatever you like. So if you take the tail piece off, all the strings come with it. That's pretty handy. And I like to cut them off, of course, because the ends of the strings are all that were wound around the post. You know, they're curly, hard to pull through. We're changing the strings, we're not reusing them. Yeah, so I'll just give all the hardware a little clean. A little bit of corrosion, probably from perspiration, from use. Just make sure it's functional. I like that worn look, so I'm not going to polish anything up there. A little simple green or any other non-toxic or caustic cleaner that you have. Clean the fretboard. You can use it on the body. Use it anywhere, really. It's very safe. Always clean the fretboard before you oil it or condition it, right? Now just using some fret erasers, 4 different grits to clean and lightly polish the frets. These are great. Love these things. Always have a brush handy. So a little Dunlop 65, condition the fretboard. You don't have to put tons on, but you know, just put it on, let it soak in for 15-20 seconds and wipe it off. I like to do it, not every string change. I mean, it depends. If you change your strings, you know, every few weeks, I wouldn't oil the fretboard. But if you change your strings every 2 to 3 months, let's say, or twice a year, even if you don't play the guitar often, I would definitely oil the fretboard. So some D'Addario strings, same gauge that were on there. They're 10s. So we'll put those on. So the tailpiece, you have to secure the tailpiece, otherwise it's going to flop out. So I use just a bit of eraser. Cut it off and jam it under the opposite side to where I'm going to start, and that will hold some tension on the tailpiece. And I'll start with the 6th string, the low E. I'm sure there's gadgets you can buy and whatever, but you know what? I like just using what you got. Everyone's got an eraser hanging around, so it doesn't hurt the body, it doesn't do anything. So these low posts, you really only need about, you know, an inch or so, inch and a half of string past the post. As long as you get like 2 wraps, that will put enough tension on the string as it comes through the post for keeping tuning stability. And these are really low. And also the hole, you'll notice, is pretty low. It's not up on the post or anything like that, so that's fine. So here you can see that eraser is holding the tailpiece nicely until I get the 1st string in, which will provide enough counter pressure to hold the tailpiece in. There we go. So use whatever you like as long as it doesn't damage the finish, right? So an eraser, well, it's pretty soft. All right, so the plain strings you can go a little further, maybe a couple of inches, you know, 2 tuning posts, that kind of thing. These ones, I always stab myself. I hate these strings. The plain strings, I've got all kinds of cuts all over my fingers. So I'll leave all the string ends long for a while here till we get the setup done. In case I have to back anything off, it's easier to grab. You can cut them down a little bit. They don't have to be that long, but if you leave 3-4 inches of string or 3 inches of string, then that's enough to grab with some pliers, right? If you have to pull them through a little harder, set up the windings, that kind of thing. All right, so after you put the strings on, you tune it up and stretch the strings. Whatever technique you want to use, I just, around the 12th fret, I just pull the string up a bunch of times. So I'll check the neck relief now that we're tuned up, and that was good. So it's still around 10 thousandths, 12 thousandths, so it's perfect. Oh, for some reason I'm showing you that again. See what happens when you edit videos late at night? So I'll check the string height. And looking for about 4/64 on the 6th string, the low E, and that was pretty good. So I just want to raise the string action a little bit on the 6th string side, so the bass side, to get it at 4, and we should be good at this point. So here's a better shot of it. So this action is going to be nice and low. So listen for the gauge touching the string. So if it's touching, it's right around 4 or less, right? So this action is pretty low. I measured it with a ruler after, and it was right at 4/64 on the bass side and 3/64 on the treble, so that's good. So we'll check the intonation. So at the 12th fret, you do a harmonic, open string, and the fretted note. So the intonation is pretty good overall on this guitar. It's just the high E, right? So the first string is a little sharp. So we have to detune the string, release the tension. And it's a little awkward on Les Pauls, but anyways, we'll just this little slotted screw at the end. So if it's sharp, we want to lengthen the string. So I'll pull that saddle back a little bit. You do this a couple, it takes 1, 2, 3 times till you get it. Again, intonation is not a perfect thing, so get as close as you can. You're playing and bending strings, your intonation goes all out of whack anyways. So I'll just check the electronics. I didn't check it when the guitar first came in, but the client didn't think there was anything wrong, and there wasn't. So it's always good to check before you give the guitar back. The pots were clean, everything sounded good. Worked just like it should out of the factory. All right, there's that pickup height. So we like to do 1/8 on the bass side and 3/32 on the treble, but you see these pole pieces, right? We've got a screw that sticks out, and then we have a flat pole piece. So you actually have two sort of measurements there. So I'll go with the screw that's higher like that and use that one, right? So I'm trying to get that just about 1/8 under the string. So again, the brass feeler gauge is not magnetic, so it's not going to get stuck on the pole piece. Then 3/32 on the treble side. Sometimes you have to give these things a little hand, right? Push them down or pull them up a little bit. If they get stuck or the springs are corroded or something like that. So, yeah. Back and forth a few times. Check it out. I really like using the gauge. I'd hate to measure these all the time with a ruler. maybe a little more video than you wanted to see, but anyways. All right, so let's button this guitar up. We'll put the truss rod cover back on. Good looking headstock, I like that. Classic Les Paul, nice. Now, you don't want to tighten these things crazy hard either, right? Just snug. And I'll just snip the strings off for now. Before I give the guitar back, I'll check the tuning and everything one more time, and I'll snip them right down. There we go. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I enjoy making these videos for everybody. So please like and subscribe for more videos. Take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy, and enjoy the summer that's coming. Finally, it's here. Bye for now.